Hello, it's Jang here from JangBricks.com with a look at a LEGO Space Police set from 2009. This is the Galactic Enforcer and it came with 825 pieces. This was the big set from the third Space Police series, and it was the one to get if your parents had the money to buy this for you, or if you had saved up enough money to buy this. Wow, that was quite an accomplishment, because it's a big old thing. Look at the comparison of the size next to a minifig. Wow. In real terms, the length is around 20 inches. Starting up at the front, this is your main cockpit section. Uses the largest of the windscreen pieces that they have made, all as one, just to cover up a single person cockpit. So only one person actually sits in there. To get in there, you have to remove the entire windscreen. Opens it up pretty nicely. You see you've got your twin stick controls right here, and you can put a minifig in there, whichever one that you prefer. You can actually angle the control sticks to come closer to being in their hands. And there's a look at it from the other angle, so you can see which panel is being used. And behind there, they've got this cool little thing. It's a little robot, little droid that sits back there. You can use that as an extra little helper for doing a little bit of recon, giving you some extra eyes. That's really nicely done. Also, you've got 4 laser cannons in the front. They don't actually do anything, but good for pretend play. Looking farther back, you get to the detention bay. This is the area right in here where you hold on to prisoners. Specifically, each one of these capsules here is sort of a detention tube. That's a place where you would have a single bad guy like this one here. See, he would be just standing basically sideways, or effectively lying in there. And you put the top back on and he's now all sealed up for transportation to an actual static detention facility, you know, a proper prison. This is basically prisoner transfer that's going on. But they've got quick releases on the outside, which can only be used from the outside, and we'll see more of how those are used later on. In the center, there's a whole crew quarters section and lab section. We'll look at that on the inside, but first let's finish looking at the outside. Check out the wings. You've actually got a nice little laser turret here, quad laser turret, and that can be angled. So that can be angled around, get some different angles of shots. Doesn't go but so far, you know, it can go pretty much straight up. You can turn it around facing kind of outward a little bit, but it doesn't go a full 360 degrees or even 180. But you get one of these on each wing. You also get a spot where you can put a figure right in here. And again, on either side, you get one of those. Put the person in like so, and because they're going to be outside, you want to bring the visor down so that they'll be protected. And then these are your main engines off to the sides, one on each of those pylons. Kind of like how these are detailed. It's a little bit something different from the norm, with the orange colors out towards the edges. And you can adjust these slats or flaps a little bit for a little bit of thrust focusing, or maybe even vectoring if you do it in a way that's not symmetrical. These are actually LEGO Technic flippers from the short-lived LEGO Technic action figures, the large figures, and they're just little scuba flippers, little fins, and they've been used in a clever way here. You've got some stabilizer structures here in the middle, some vertical and horizontal stabilizers, and when you want, you can turn those up out of the way to give you easy access to this rear loading ramp that's built into the thing. Comes all the way down to the ground, and out of there comes a surface vehicle. And it's just a little ATV kind of quad thing done in a very different way. It's got huge tires on it, and these are really soft too, so you can just really imagine these going over some really rough terrain with ease. What's special about the design of this thing is that you can put your figure on and see that he leans way back. The whole thing is basically angled back at a 45-degree angle, so you've got studs basically half on the top, half on the side, studs at an angle. Now let's take a look inside. This entire roof section hinges open very easily to reveal some cool details inside. On the far side, you've got what's supposed to be sort of an interrogation section. So you put your bad guy on that seat, kind of the hot seat right there, and then one of your Space Police Force members would be over here on this rotating chair, messing around with stuff on this panel. And this is supposed to be hooked up to a lie detector, basically. So you've got your green and your red to indicate whether the person has told the truth or has told a lie. Those are also just general computer sort of instruments and things, so you could imagine those being related to other sorts of investigation, processing evidence, doing other sorts of background research, anything that you like. On the other side of that room, it's a little bit harder to see, but you've got a whole rack of tools and instruments. These can be weapons here, different colored weapons, or they could be flashlights, or they could be some sort of sensing instrument. You've got a metal detector here for helping to find different types of evidence, a couple of walkie-talkies, and also some air tanks, again for working in areas that have no or toxic atmospheres. The in-between section right here has some detail inside of it as well. You can remove this kind of windscreen. It's not particularly elegant how that opens up, and I think it was supposed to take just the top piece, but this will work. And you can see that this is essentially a co-pilot little cockpit area. This is practically another whole cockpit with dual control sticks and everything, so you could have a different person flying from here. Let me show you exactly why they did that. This whole thing looks like a big spaceship, right? Well, it is, but it's also multiple spaceships in one. Lots of things can be taken apart. So that is a ship, that is a ship. These two are separate, don't look so great from the front, but we'll take a better look at them in a second. That leaves you with still a fully working ship. Yeah, still looks pretty good. This can also be separated right here. These two sections can come apart. So now you've got all these pieces here, and now you can see why this one has a cockpit, because this can fly by itself, and you can have all these things running around on their own and still have a pilot left back behind here. You do only get 3 Space Police officers with this set, so you have to choose which one of them is going to stay stationary at any given time. There's what the large section looks like just by itself. It does have this kind of funky thing coming out the front that's used to line it up with the front section, but other than that, it looks like a believable shuttle, you know, some sort of transport thing, not a major fighter or anything, but I think it works out okay, minus this piece. The front section, I think, looks great. It has really an oversized cockpit, but they end up leaving you with the little wings on the sides and the antennae sticking forward, and this thing looks like just a small gunship. Like this could be a regular patrol craft. They even have engine detail on the back, which was previously hidden. And they do give you 2 little vertical stabilizers in the back, so they tried to make it a complete thing. Again, looks odd with the connection points sticking out, but those are the only real oddities of the design to me. This, however, looks very, very strange. You've got 4 lasers on this thing, so this thing is definitely able to shoot. You've got the huge engines on the back, so you know it's going to be ridiculously fast, but I don't know. This to me does not work. I don't like this by itself. So to that end, I'm not going to leave it by itself. I'm going to hook it up here and get the other one and hook that up here, and this is a thing. Just another possibility for how to put stuff together. Now you get the big old engines on the back, you get more wing style surfaces or stabilizer surfaces. And again, you can still separate out the rear sections if you want to use those independently, but there you go. Just one more thing you can do with the set. Here's the bad guy ship that comes with this set. They call it an alien strike craft. This uses a bunch of stickers, 2 stickers per wing elements, plus 1 across this huge cannon on the front. Got the kind of X-style wing arrangement. The cannon is able to actually fire quite well at that. Got a couple of simulated shooters down there. Big ol' antenna, and the engine has a bunch of fire coming out of it. Now, I mentioned earlier you've got these quick release pieces out here on these pods, the prison pods. Well, you can shoot at those with this guy, and if you hit it, it will actually open up the pod. So I'll do it up close so you can see exactly what's going on. You shoot, you hit that, opens up the top, and you break out the guy that was inside. Another thing you can do with this bad guy ship is hook up a chain to it, right back here, and you can use that chain to steal away this ancient and very valuable statue. All right, maybe it's not ancient, but it is very valuable. This is a commemoration of the very first Lego guy in space. In the real world, this was in the 30th anniversary year of the introduction of the space line from Lego. So the little Latin inscription down below, which is just a sticker, translates roughly in English to 30 years of building into the infinity of space. If you Google it, you will find many different translations, and only a proper Latin scholar can give you the correct, exact modern interpretation of what that would mean in American English. But all of the translations out there are almost the same. There's a print on the back of this guy too. Here are the proper playable minifigs in the set. 3 space police officers, 2 male, 1 female, then Cranks and Slizer, reusing an old name from Lego. And the headpieces here are a little bit different between the 2 bad guys. Cranks is just a one-piece headpiece. Slizer has somewhat of a helmet on him. So there you can see the prints on the backs and the rest of the shapes there. But Slizer, like I said, you can take that head off, and you got the sand green color under there, and there's his actual face. All right. That's it for my look at this set. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll take a moment to leave your thoughts about this set in the comment section down below. Always stay tuned to the blog at jangbricks.com to see exactly what I'm up to in the Lego world. And be sure to come back soon, because more videos are on the way. Bye for now.